So where did it all begin? The founder of IKEA, Ingvar Kamprad, was an entrepreneur from a young age. At age 5, he began selling matches in his hometown in Sweden and quickly began to understand the way that profit works. He then moved on to selling other items like pens and flowers, which he would buy in bulk from Stockholm and sell individually to make a premium. Kamprad founded IKEA in 1943 at the age of 17, originally selling items like pens, wallets, table furnishings, jewelry, and stockings. His aim was to meet the people's needs at a much lower price. It was not until 5 years later that furniture was introduced to the IKEA range, which was well received by IKEA's customers at the time. Throughout the 1950s, the concept of flat pack furniture that IKEA is renowned for was developed and introduced into the store. So where are we now? IKEA has now expanded across 41 countries with over 350 stores. These stores are spread majorly throughout Europe, with some in America, Russia, Asia, and of course Australia as well. So what does the future look like for IKEA? With only 1/4 of the world's population with access to an IKEA store, it is undoubtable that there is still room for further growth across the globe. IKEA stores are mostly concentrated in the developed nations, and it is believed that the next steps would be to integrate IKEA into more developed countries to expand the global spread. A SWOT is a useful tool because it helps us to examine the elements that are internal and external to a business. We'll start by looking at the internal. IKEA have a multi-channeled reach, which has allowed them to maximize and capture their target market. By offering a large range of products and services, IKEA have now achieved a larger target market. IKEA are a leader in sustainability. They now own 416 wind turbines and 750,000 solar panels, which would be enough to power 73% of the total energy used by IKEA last year. They also offer 500 sustainable products for customers to purchase, which will help with issues surrounding waste management and water saving. IKEA are a very innovative company. They now have 9,500 products across the range and renew 2,500 of those each year to stay relevant and on trend with customer preferences. 3 weaknesses we identified in our SWOT were that the global spread is concentrated in the developed countries of Europe. Quality control is becoming an issue as well. With manufacturing of products done external to IKEA, it is difficult to keep control of the quality and ensure all products are of good quality while keeping the cost down for the customer. Cultural differences. IKEA does not cater for various cultural needs and differences that vary from country to country. They rather take a something for everyone approach. The nature of IKEA's current global spread means that there is room to expand into other countries and increase our global footprint. The integration into developing countries, where there is a need for cheap, quality products, could help to expand IKEA further. There is an opportunity to increase online retailing, with e-commerce booming globally. The major threats that are currently posed at IKEA include the rise of competitors. Competitors offer similar products at a similar cost, which would take away from IKEA's value proposition. Other companies use price matching techniques too, which could drive IKEA customers elsewhere. The increase in raw material costs have caused an increase in prices from suppliers, which in turn reduces profit margin or would cause a hike in product prices, which also takes away from the value proposition of low-cost quality products for customers. In our SWOT, we identified 2 opportunities for IKEA to expand. The first is that the global spread is concentrated around Europe, leaving more room to expand in other areas of the globe. And the second was that the opportunity to expand in developing nations where the need for cheap products is evident. We have decided to look at the expansion further into the developing Asian market. However, as these cities are densely populated and industrial land for superstores is more sparse, we have had to think outside the box. Generally, IKEA stores are 1 to 3 stories spread over 5,000 to 10,000 square metre parcels of land, However, this new concept will explore the feasibility of integrating vertical stores into CBD locations throughout Asia. A key international player in the industrial property sector is the Goodman Group. They have already become a market leader in vertical industrial property. They have a key focus on the gateway cities of Australia, Asia, and the United States, and industry experts believe they will lead this trend worldwide to ensure the ongoing supply of industrial property. The new vertical stores would be developed on underdeveloped parcels of land in the CBDs, which would have a floor area of approximately 1,000 to 2,000 square metres. Depending on the location, these towers can range up to 70 stories high, so only part of the tower would be used as a store, with the remaining area being leased out to other users to generate income. To do so, our research and development team will help to identify the locations in which IKEA would be successful by looking at the demographic makeup of these locations. As outlined in both assignments 1 and 2, the elements of the business model canvas interact in various ways to ensure a successful business strategy can be executed. When integrating the new concept, we have chosen to mainly focus on key partners, customer relationships, and key resources. Key partners include suppliers involved in the manufacturing and delivery of the products, customers, staff, and logistic partners who are all part of the process, where the end result is the customer being satisfied with not only the product but the overall IKEA experience. The partners would remain the same, however, in the expansion process, it would mean expanding the network of each of these partners, including finding local logistics operators and staff. Key resources. The main driver behind IKEA is its people. With over 3,700 employees in Australia alone and 123,000 worldwide, it is undoubtable that human labour is a major resource. Physical resources include the real estate that each store will be on, whether it is owned or rented. In the expansion process, IKEA will be working with key industrial property developers to execute the vertical store plan. Another key resource in this process is the research and development team. They will be in charge of selecting appropriate countries, cities, locations, and sites for the new stores to be integrated into. Furthermore, once this has been achieved, the planning process will begin, which will be the starting point of putting the expansion into practice. When expanding into a new market, customer relationships are very important. It is also important to consider the demographics of potential customers. This will be a key part of the research and development and will allow for IKEA to build up customer relationships by offering an experience that is relevant, meaningful, and in line with customer preferences. To look at the importance of the business model canvas, it is integral to first look at business models more generally. Henry Tresbrough articulates that a business model should fulfill these functions: value propositions, market segments, channels, revenue mechanisms, cost structure and profit potential, competitive strategy, or competitive advantage. He details how a business model can be a system of interlinked components and dynamics, or in other words, activities that a company performs with details on how and when it performs them.